Thank you, Kyle. My name is Wayne Toth. I'm the Motive Power Coordinator of the program. So welcome everyone. We've got a little bit of information we're going to share with you today. And like Kyle said, any questions, please feel free, even to type in the chat or the Q&A as we're going through this information. And both Pete and Kyle will pick up on any questions and we'll try to answer them for you. My background, I've been at the college now I'm going into my 16th year. I had my own automotive shop in St. Catharines for multiple years. And actually, one of our graduates from the program is part owner in that company right now and doing very well. I worked for General Motors for some years as a trainer for them, got to travel across the country and meet a lot of technicians in the trade. And we bring that partnership with our people that we've met over the years to the program. Pete, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Pete Delia. I'm a professor at Niagara College in the Motive Power department. Like Wayne, I also owned my own garage for 26 years before I came on board at Niagara College. We got a great program going on here. Lots happening, as you can see in my my background there. We work on all types of different projects and stuff like that, and we give you the ABCs right from the beginning right to the end. So if you have questions, please ask us. Okay.
We've also got Ian Mcquarrie. He's another full-time professor too. He might be joining us throughout the presentation. So if he pops in, he'll introduce himself also. So yeah, let's get started and we'll kind of cover some of the information related to our programs. So we've got our Motive Power program. It's a 2-year program. It's a co-op, it's a diploma program. And the real nice thing about our 2-year program is when you do graduate, you graduate with a 2-year college diploma, but you also graduate with all 3 levels of your apprenticeship in-school training completed also. So these are things that we'll be talking to you throughout this presentation today. It works very well. A lot of our automotive shops like that the students have got their schooling completed. And once they get hired full-time in the trade, they don't have to be sent back to school to accomplish their apprenticeship in-school training. Lots of great opportunities for the graduates of our program. If you're interested in being an automotive service technician, this really preps you to be very proficient in your career path. There's lots of opportunities other than service technician, parts people, counter people, service advisors. These jobs really work out well for you because you've got some good technical background from the program. And again, great opportunities in all aspects of whether it's dealerships, whether it's general repair shops, franchise shops, lots of great opportunities with that. Next slide there. Yeah, perfect. So some program highlights. The really nice thing, and we can do a virtual tour with actually showing you some more information on the actual shop, what we do in the shop. But we've got a few pictures in this presentation today. We are very proud of our facility. It's definitely a state-of-the-art facility. I've been at the college for the last 16 years now, and through our budgets and our apprenticeship enhancement funding, we've been able to put $1.2 million worth of equipment into that shop over the last 14 years. So we feel it's state of the art. We look at what the automotive dealers and shops are using for equipment, and we make sure our graduates have got very good access and proficiencies on all different types of equipment. Lots of hands-on learning. Right now with COVID, we are doing the theory classes online, but we've been very fortunate through all of this that we've been able to do face-to-face labs. And within our lab settings, we work with smaller groups. So you're really getting that hands-on learning one-on-one with the professors. And a lot of our students that are getting into the automotive trade are really a hands-on learner. So we make sure that our labs are, as much as possible that we can do, get the students in the labs, and it really creates a great learning environment also. We've also got a co-op program right in the middle. After the first 2 semesters are completed, the student goes out into a co-op term. It's the same thing. It's a full term, 14 weeks. You have to complete roughly 400 hours on the job. It is a paid co-op. And prior to COVID, we were getting 100% placement with our students. And now that, the COVID protocol is lightening up a bit, we're definitely seeing our numbers go up with co-op placements again. And we always tell the students too, do a good job in your co-op. And a lot of times, you'll get a full-time position when you graduate. So the co-op, not only are you gaining some experience, but you're getting to see what the shop is like. The shop is getting to see what you're like, and some great opportunities through that co-op term. And then we've also got a lot of new technology, and we're constantly putting upgrades into our curriculum. We really look at where industry is going, and we've very fortunate. We've got the Green Automotive Technology Lab. We're one of the first colleges right across Canada to get the government funding to be able to build this state-of-the-art facility. And we've got some pictures we'll show you in a few minutes related to the electric lab. Now, in your terms, we break it down into 5 semesters in total. The co-op term is right in the middle. These are just a real quick breakdown of the different classes that you're going to be taking throughout the 2-year program. Term 1, it's a busy term, but it really gets you brought up to speed. And we're really flexible with the knowledge levels of our students coming into the program. We're very aware of that, and we work very closely to make sure that everyone's brought up to a certain level by the end of term 1. So even though you may not have a lot of automotive experience in the past, not to worry. Our professors are very in touch with your needs, and we will make sure that you do be successful in the program. So some of the classes in term 1, there's a vehicle body and structure class. Pete has been teaching that course for many years, and he's doing a great job with it. The students really love that course. And he's got projects that he also introduces to the students. It's not actual body work per se. It gets into design, frame structure, body structure, panel removal, airbag systems, and it gives the student a really good idea how the vehicle is designed. But with his projects, and in the background of his picture there, you can see the students actually building a Chevy Volt that was completely written off, and that created a lot of excitement for them. Application fundamentals is more introduction to all the equipment that is being used in the shops. So we make sure that everybody has some good hands-on with all the types of equipment. Hydraulics gets into all of the different fluids in the vehicles, general maintenance on the vehicles. Engines course gets into, actually you work very closely with a partner in a complete engine rebuild. So this is right in the very first week of school. You're given engines, you tear them down, you repair them back together and start them up. Again, this creates a lot of excitement for the students also. Work practices, it's more hands-on, hand skills, drilling, tapping, precision measuring. There's a computer applications course that really gets you up to speed on computer systems. Most of the automotive trade today now is all online with diagnostic information, wiring diagrams. So we really tune the course around your needs in the automotive career path. There is a math, there is a communication, but again, it's directly related to automotive. So the math itself gets you into precision measuring, gets you into tire sizing, gear ratios. So it's interesting for the students. Term 2 gets a little more involved now. We get into manual transmissions, gear trains, electrical, suspension, brakes. Material science is all air conditioning. Environmental controls is all emission controls. And there's also a customer relations course also. Term 3 gets into the trends, the new technology, hybrid, fuel cell, hydrogen, electric vehicles. That's covered in that course. Engines 2 gets into more in-depth engine, heads, valve timing, variable valve timing, VTEC, all that technology. Brakes 2 gets into all the electronics on the braking systems. Drivetrains gets into manual transmissions. Vehicle dynamics gets into the suspension, alignment procedures. There's a more in-depth electrical, and then there's a course on your powertrain controls, your computer systems. And then the final semester is a management course, more diagnostics. We really get you, you're up to the speed now where we can really stress how to diagnose problems on vehicles. And that takes you right into transmissions, auto control circuits. And then there also is another business communications course in the term 4. So sorry for the long-winded information, but that really gives you an idea on what the different courses are that you would be taking in the 2-year program.
Wayne, we got a great question from Dawson. So I just want to jump to that really quickly. They asked what the difference is between that and a 3-year apprenticeship program. At current, they're leaning towards an apprenticeship-based program.
Okay, perfect question. Thank you. Yeah, the main differences are with your apprenticeship program. We teach that in the evenings. It's a 3-year program, and the way the apprenticeship is broken down is you have level 1, you have level 2, and then you have level 3 AST 310S training that you take. Now the difference is you're actually working full time. You secure a full-time position in an automotive shop. You register as an apprentice through the Ontario College of Trades website and through the Ministry of Apprenticeship. And you're registered as an apprentice. They book you into school. School starts in September for your level 1. And then level 2 is again in the next September. And then level 3 is in the following September. So that part of the apprenticeship programs is you're working full time, you're earning a living, and you're coming to school part-time in the evenings. The Motive Power program is a full-time, it's a post-secondary based program, tuition-based program, and you're in school full-time. The main difference with the Motive Power full-time program is we have a lot more extra time, so we can get a lot more involved, a lot more in-depth with each subject matter that we cover. The evening program, it covers the ministry requirements for what you need to know to be a successful automotive service technician. So hopefully that helps.
If I can also just add in there with the Motive Power program, you will receive all 3 levels of your schooling. So when you do finish with us, when you go out and get a job for your apprenticeship, you don't have to come back to school. You just have to put in your hours in the shop, and then you can write for your AST.
The other thing too, I'm not sure if you've been on the Ontario College of Trades website, but if you do go on that website, it really breaks down in detail how the apprenticeship works. So if you do get a minute, just kind of search that information out. And if you just go into automotive section and apprenticeship, it'll give you some good details in there. Apprenticeship has changed slightly over the years also. Years ago, it was hours completion on the job. And when you got to a certain point of how many hours you had completed, then you would go off to school. There was a block release in some colleges, but we just offer the evening program. So you're constantly working throughout. You don't have to take any time off the shop to actually attend school for that. So yes, just go in and again, with my email address, if there's any additional questions, please reach out because it can be a little confusing on the different types of apprenticeship programs that are out there. Sponsor organizations. We have, with our faculty And like Pete mentioned, he had his own shop for many years. We really got to know a lot of auto shops, a lot of shop owners, a lot of dealerships. So we really pride ourselves on our partnerships that we've created over the years. And this is just a small list of some of the companies that we're directly related to or involved with. TATA is a huge organization. It's the Trillium Automotive Dealers Association of Ontario. So pretty well every automotive dealership belongs to this organization. And they come down, we do job fairs a couple times a year. They come down, they have a booth set up, and they represent many dealerships across the province. They also are very good with bursaries. They have a bursary for our students every semester. So that's a really good partnership that we have formed there. BMW Canada, General Motors, Ford, Mazda, Toyota. We have some really good partnerships with them. They not only donate vehicles to us, they donate equipment. They General Motors has a scholarship with us too for our students. So those are some really good partnerships that we've got going there. And then large car groups that own multiple dealerships. There's 3 that we've got listed there. The Performance Auto Group. They're very big in the Niagara region and stretch all the way up into the Toronto area. They have about almost 30 dealerships under their umbrella. The FAF Auto Group has at least 40 dealerships, right from Burlington all the way through Toronto to London area. The Dewalry Auto Group, they have 75 dealerships spread right across Canada. So they hire our graduates. They're very happy with the type of graduate that graduates from our program. Canadian Tire, very huge sponsor, partner with us. And you know, Canadian Tire is right across Canada, so they have some great opportunities. And then again, just multiple general repair shops. If you do some research, there's a huge demand, a skills shortage right now for tradespeople, and especially in the automotive sector. Both Pete and I are getting calls on a regular basis from shop owners, you know, asking, have you got a good graduate coming up that you can send me? And the real nice thing right now too is when we go out and we call on shops anywhere in the region, we do see graduates from our program working in the shops. And that's a really good testament to our program and the success story of our students when they graduate. They have a passion for automotive, and it shows when you do see them actually working in the shops that we visit. Next slide there, Kyle, please. So these are just some snapshots of our shop areas. We've got the layout of the shop. You really have to get in there and see it. We'll be so happy when we get back to live open houses, and that gives you a really good opportunity for you to get in, see the facility. But Kyle mentioned earlier, we are very open to, if you want to get in and see us. Just with the COVID protocol right now, we just have to go through a acceptance before we can let you into the facility. But we can work that very closely with you. But just a couple snapshots here. The hoist area, we've got one right along the one wall. We've got multiple hoists set up. There's the electrical lab. You'll see on the center picture there, there's lots of white training boards. You're actually in the electrical lab for multiple courses through the 2 years that you're here. There's the engines lab. We have every piece of equipment that is required to do a complete overhaul of the engine. So you, like I mentioned earlier, you break those engines down in groups, small groups, take them apart, rebuild them. This is second year engines where they're actually working on a V6, brand new General Motors donated engines that has the latest technology on them. So again, they go through a complete teardown, repair, rebuild, And then they start these engines up to make sure that they're operating properly and no noises, no oil leaks. So it creates a lot of excitement for them. At the last week of the term, they're starting the engines up. The students are taking videos, they're posting them on their social media. So it does create a lot of excitement for them.
If you notice how bright
Next
our
slide,
shop
Kyle.
is, and how clean it is, that's not just for the pictures. It's kept like that all the time. We have 2 technicians who keep our shops impeccable. So we know where everything is, and everything is easy to access.
And yeah, our technologists do a great job for us. We, as professors, we book our time in the labs. We choose our area that we're going to be working in, the types of vehicles that we're going to be using that day in the labs, the equipment that we use. And when the student comes into the lab, everything is set, ready to go. And it really creates an amazing learning environment for the students. And the labs go over very well. There's no downtime. It's a very progressive type lab that you're learning in. Another couple of shots, there's the alignment area. Again, we've got Hunter alignment equipment. We've got drive-on hoists. And again, the students get a good chance to not only diagnose suspension problems, but be able to do alignments and make sure that they're very proficient when they go out into the workforce. And below a tire area, suspension area, we've got multiple tire machines, wheel balancers, and we go through the proper learning of the tire information, how to repair tires safely, all within safety standards put down by the ministry. And that top picture is actually the guys working on the engines again too. So next slide, Kyle. A few more shots. The transmission lab, we're very proud of that. The middle picture there, we actually have a transmission dyno. So the students are in there for 3 different courses throughout the 2 years. Manual transmissions, then we get into automatics, and then we get into electronic automatic transmission diagnostics. When the student completely tears down their transmission, identifies the components, checks the power flow through the transmission, they're put back together, and then they're run on the dyno. And we're very fortunate. We are one of only 2 colleges across Canada that have this piece of equipment in it. So it prolongs the life of our transmissions, because when the student puts them together, they have to work. They go through a test of all the shifts, all the pressure checks. And if there's something wrong, the student gets to take it apart, see what they may have done wrong, put it back together, back onto the dyno, test it again. So again, that creates a lot of excitement for them also. And then the diagnostic part of it, a couple of students there working on an engine run stand. We have many of these engine run stands. It's a company in Quebec that builds these for us. We can actually put problems into these engine run stands. We can flip a switch, we can program a problem into it, whether it's a running rough problem, whether it's a no start problem, and the students will actually get to diagnose with the specific tools, scan tools, lab scopes, voltmeters, and it really gets the thinking skills going for the student. To be able to diagnose problems on the vehicles. Next slide there, Kyle. And then this is, again, something we're very proud of. This is the Green Automotive Technology Lab. We have multiple vehicles in our possession, whether it's hybrid, whether they're electric vehicles. There's a couple there that you can see, Smart Car and a Leaf. Those are fully electric vehicles. There's a Yukon in the background there. And this is attached to the back of our automotive shop. And it's all of our new technology. So we go through right from the gasoline engine, how we've created variable valve timing, to turbos, to then we get into hybrids, then we get into electric vehicles. And we also touch on diesel technology, and also hydrogen, fuel cells, and also hydrogen powered engines that we cover. So a lot of shops really, really like this. Our students have got some background, obviously lots of safety involved with the high voltage systems, but the big thing is not to be afraid of these vehicles. There's so many shops in the trades right now that they're a little nervous about working on this technology because of the danger and because of the high voltage. But they're missing out on a lot of opportunities. These vehicles all have suspension, tires, brakes that need to be serviced. So we make sure our graduates are comfortable with this technology and they go out into the workforce. And that helps. That helps on their resume also to show that they've got some of this background. Next slide there, Kyle. And again, just some more shots of the vehicles and another shot of the main shop area. We've got a Prius in the front there, which is a hybrid. And the other thing too, with our donations from the car manufacturers, we have a wide range of probably about 35 different vehicles in our fleet, and all makes, all models, right from older vehicles right through to brand new vehicles. Mazda just donated 2 SUV diesels, brand new. Ford just donated 2 F-150 pickup trucks, brand new. And then General Motors has been very, very good with us over the years, donating new GM vehicles. So we have a great mix of different brands of vehicles that the students are working on every day in the labs. Maybe Pete, if you want to just weigh in on this. I know you were very involved with the Camaro.
Hey guys, so like Wayne was saying, we do some projects now and again, and and we did that Camaro, the white Camaro you see there. That car was smashed by a GM executive, and it was donated to us, so we got to pull it apart, and that's what we're working on in the background of my screensaver there. And so we completely tore it apart and was able to put it back together with all new panels and made it into kind of a marketing device for us, as well as the Sportsman vintage race car you see there. Our associate Dean is heavily into racing, so he was able to find a vintage modified that was basically came to us in a box. And our students have put it completely back together, and we take it to certain events and stuff, and people get a kick out of it. You can climb in and out of it, and it's a lot of fun. And then of course we got a new trailer with all our logos on it. That's what we carry all our stuff around, and we have a lot of marketing devices that we bring along to us when we go to shows and events that people can play with, and just gives you an idea of what we do at the college.
And that's where recruiting, we work very, very closely with recruiting, and Kyle is just one person that does an amazing job with us. And they, you know, we have multiple people from recruiting that works different areas. And one thing that always comes up too is, you know, are we really limited to Niagara region for our graduates? And that's definitely a no. We really have graduates that go right across Canada and secure jobs. So, you know, if you are listening or participating today and you're not locally, not to worry, because there's some great opportunities globally with automotive. And we do have a lot of international students that take our program. So they travel across the country to secure jobs. I got a call from a GM dealership in Halifax, and they had 4 of our graduates there with resumes, and they hired all 4 of our grads. And I followed up with the dealer a few months later, and they were very, very pleased with the grads that they hired from our program. I've had calls from out west from shop owners, same thing. So some great opportunities across Canada, but also we have international students that actually go back to their country after they graduate also, and secure jobs there, because the Canadian apprenticeship programs is very strict with the, the technology, the curriculum that we cover. So it's globally recognized. So if you are a Red Seal licensed automotive service technician, you could get jobs really anywhere globally too. So again, some donations. This is a picture of General Motors with some donations that they have done in the past and continue. We've got a call to go and pick up transmissions and engines. They just donated 60 6.2 V8 engines to us, Camaro engines, and they just donated a pile of transmissions for us too that we'll be going to pick up. Scholarships, we really stress to a lot of our students. There's many opportunities for bursaries, scholarships, and we really stress to the students, apply for them. There's lots of opportunities there to help offset your tuition fees. So please, if you are in any programs within the college, please take advantage of any scholarships that are offered. And then we're, excuse me, we're very active with skills competitions, Skills Canada. If you do get a minute, you can always Google Skills Ontario or Skills Canada. We send 2 of our students to a skills competition in Toronto every year. Sorry guys, got a bit of tickle in my throat here. And we also work closely with the local high school boards, the DSBN and the Catholic School Board. They host skills competitions, and we actually do the DSBN one in our shop facility. And our students actually, excuse me, participate as judges in it also. Career opportunities. This is just a small list of the different types of jobs that are available for our students. And this can be done either through your co-op, and then, like I said earlier, when you do finish your co-op, there's some great opportunities when you graduate. But this is just a small list of opportunities that you can get into. I'm losing my voice here, sorry.
Yeah, that list is very small, guys. Like this trade can take you in so many different directions. Like Wayne and myself, we became, professors in it. There's so much opportunity nowadays with the way it's getting so technical, and it could take you in a lot of different directions. So it's really a great career to get into.
This is just a list of some of our graduates over the years. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we go out into shops in the region. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here, guys. And these are just a few of the shops that have hired our graduates over the years. And again, they're very excited about us sending our grads to their facilities. And again, lots of great job opportunities available out there also.
Hi, hello. My name is Siddharth. So I'm here from the international. We do get I would say it's one of a very competitive program in international, because we get so much interest for motive power, from all over the world. And I would say, I hear like success stories from a lot of students, who graduated from this program, and they're all doing very well in the industry, And so it's a great program, as you said, it's what we say is applied knowledge. So what you learn in the classroom, you apply it, and the labs are just amazing. It's state of art technology. I have been to the lab few times, with a group of students and also with a group of agents, and as soon as you come out of the lab, everybody just expression on their face is like, wow, what an amazing learning like facility we have. So I don't know if there is any international students, on this Zoom, as we did invited some of our agents on. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding to, I know the requirements might be different for domestic and international. So if you have any questions related to international admissions, please, let me know, and I'll also put my email address in the chat. So if something comes up to you later on, any of the international students, even even if domestic students, if you have a question, you can always send us an email. We can guide you to the right person. So yeah, I'm gonna put that right now. So
Okay, so we did have one question pop up in the chat here. Thank you, Siddharth, for putting that in. So another question, if they would like to take a gap year for the apprenticeship program, is it possible? Can they defer their acceptance?
Yeah, by all means, for sure. Not sure exactly what they're asking there, but we do have 3 intakes in motive power. So if it's something that you can't get into for January, there is a May start or even the next September start of the program. So every intake we do have a term 1 that is starting. So really, if you can't start now, by all means. It is a very popular program. So we recommend that you do get your name on the list, and because that, it does fill up very quickly and it does become waitlisted. With the apprenticeship side of it, if it's something that, you wanted to start working first, gained a little more experience, then yes, by all means, you could defer your night school to a later time also. Just maybe a little more information about the co-op and how it works also. We have a co-op department in the college, and we have a dedicated person in that department that looks after motive power. So in the second term, just before you do go out on co-op, the co-op department runs workshops, and it really helps you get ready for co-op. There's job interview process, there's resume writing, and then there's a list on a job board of all the shops that are actually calling in to hire students from our program. So it works very, very well for that, and that really helps us. I just got a list. There is a group of students that are out right now in their co-op term, and I just got a list through from the co-op department showing all the students' names that did secure co-op positions and the shops that did hire the students. So that's, we're very pleased with how the co-op department actually works and dedicates their time to make sure that our students do find a co-op position. And the other thing too, if you're out of town, if you're, if you live in different parts of Ontario or even globally, you can do your co-op anywhere. If you plan on living in a different part of the country, you can search for co-op positions there, and it works very, very well with our co-op department. As long as you are completing 400 hours on the job, and there's paperwork to be filled out, obviously, but the co-op department works closely with you on that. But it's some great learning opportunities for you. And you're also being paid to be working at that same time. So
yeah, I don't know if we
helps. If there's any, go ahead.
I also want to mention, I don't know if we did already, is our teaching staff. Like there's 6 of us that are full-time that have been in the trade, and then we have about 10 part-timers who are still working in the trade. So when you're getting taught, like you're right up to date with today's technology and what's going on in this industry today. So we're very up to date faculty with lots of stuff to share with you.
Excellent. We do have 2 new questions now. So the first one is, will there be online class in January 22 or just face-to-face?
Great question. We're slowly starting to head back into the classroom. So out of the 4 terms that we're running, there's 2 classes of each term that is back in the classroom. So that's exciting. We're looking forward to getting back into the classroom. We're thinking, depending on the numbers with COVID, we're hoping that by May intake, that we'll be fully back into the classroom. But our professors have done an amazing job with the COVID restrictions and protocol. We were doing for the last couple of terms, we were doing online theory. So we took what we would normally do in a classroom setting, we added video to them, PowerPoint presentations, and we really did a good job on the online portion of the program. But the really nice thing about it is we were still face-to-face in the labs. So that the lab was set up, it's a huge facility that we have, but we actually installed walls, barriers in between the different areas. So we did follow the protocol very, very strictly. You know, the students wore masks, we had the safety gear on, we sanitized everything that was touched throughout the labs. So we were very, very fortunate that we were able to continue to keep our labs running with no issues. So we're proud of that. But again, to answer your question, we are heading back into the classrooms for certain courses for the January start.
This one might be for Siddharth. So we have a question here that asks, as an international applicant who's been in a different field and wants to go for automotive now, what would the requirements be?
So for automotive, it's a very simple requirement. You know, we look at your grade, 12 grades, and you're supposed to have overall an average of 60%. And, you know, you should also have mathematics at 60% as well. But as you know, we get students from different diverse backgrounds. You know, it always helps you, maybe, you know, not on technical side, but also on maybe service side. So maybe we have seen students who are coming from altogether different sectors in the past and going into automotive. But the more it's not only automotive skills in today's world. If you go to an automotive shop and the person doesn't talk to you properly, you know, so you will say, you know, I'm not going to get my car fixed here. So if you have those skills from before, and obviously during this program, you'll also learn a lot of, you know, how to deal with clients and, you know, how to, but, you know, all different backgrounds help you, you know, so the way, you know, you deal with, or you fix the cars, or, you know, the way you deal with your clients. So you can go with any background. You can, you know, still send me an email, like, and maybe if you want to share your, you know, transcripts, you know, we can look at, you know, the eligibility, but all the admission requirements are also are on our automotive the program page as well. So if you look at the admission requirement, it clearly says, you know, grade 12, and we require the mathematics as well. Okay.
So the next question
that's
here.
Great.
Sorry.
Just 1 second, Kyle. I just want to add to that. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, our very first term, if the student is concerned that they don't have a lot of automotive background, not to be concerned whatsoever. And like Siddharth mentioned too, we've got students, and especially international students, coming into the program that have got some engineering backgrounds also. And that really helps. It's all about thinking skills, and the technology is advancing so fast with automotive. If there's computer skills that you have, if there's electrical skills that you have, that really, really helps. And again, if the skills aren't there, not to worry. We will work closely with you in the first term to help bring everybody up to that same level. So it works very well for that. Another question I see there about part-time jobs. Yes, we are constantly getting calls from shops. And the funny thing with automotive trade too is you do have your super busy times, and then you do have times throughout the year that shops do tend to quiet down a little bit. So there's lots of opportunities, especially right now for this time of the year. A lot of the shops are really ramping up because of tire season, winter tires, customers coming in to get their winter tires and their cars serviced. So there is some part-time opportunities out there too. And a lot of our students, they look at their timetables and they really look, they approach the shops and they say, this is my timetable, because a lot of shops are open in the evenings now, they're open on weekends. So that, yes, there is some good opportunities for some part-time work while you're in school also. And something too that I can add about pathways, we do tend to get students asking, if they're not really ready to go out into a career, what other avenues could they continue with education? And we do have graduates that will move on to a university program. There's some great programs out there in universities related to automotive engineering. And so our pathway through our program really helps them with some of the basics, technical information, to be very successful when they move on to an engineering program also. And then I've also had students that have graduated that have gone on to automotive business schools or programs. And, they've got the technical background from our program, then they've gone into a automotive business program. Then they've gone on to possibly opening their own business, working for some dealerships. So there's, again, some really good pathways to continue with your education also.
Okay, and then that other question was just talking about the role in getting employment while in the program, and you've kind of answered that with the co-op and making sure that you help students find that opportunity while they're with you.
We've actually got one student that's in our program right now. He's actually started working at a dealership in Niagara Falls, a Kia dealership, and they love him so much that they want to hire him full time when he finishes the program. But they've also got him working part time, so he again works with empty spots in his schedule. He'll work weekends for them. And again, not only through co-op, but if you are working part-time, that's a great way for the shop to see what type of person you are and get an opportunity to be hired full-time when you graduate. So yes, lots of opportunities out there, whether it's part-time, whether it's co-op, or whether it's for your graduates when they finish the program.
Thanks everyone, for taking the time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for attending, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Just remember, we're just an email away if you have any questions.